Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to do a TED Talk about the best Linux distribution of 2020. As you all know, Linux is an open source operating system. It opens room for everyone to desire to create own operating system, actually without doing a lot of programming knowledge. In contradictory, Windows and Mac OS are built in-house by the companies and they sell them. But Linux is a different in this case. Being an open source operating system, it opens some room for everyone. Whenever someone creates their own Linux version on an existing Linux distribution as their code base, is it's a new complete package, which is a new Linux distribution. Now to say at least, there really is no best Linux distribution because when you work with the Linux operating system for long enough, you learn how to customize everything as per your requirement. So on the user interface side, any Linux distribution can be look and behave like any other Linux distribution, or you can configure it according to your requirement. So in this tutorial, we will list our Linux distribution that we found really good and have gained more transaction in past few days of 2020. So the first one on the list is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the most popular flavors of Linux and is strongly recommended for the Linux newbies as is easily accessible. New versions of Ubuntu is released every 6 months and every 1 year the developer LTS long-term support version of Ubuntu is released. These guarantee 5 years of security and general maintenance updates so you can carry out using your machine without hassle of running full upgrade every month, while the standard release are supported for 1 year. The current LTS release of Ubuntu uses 3 genome desktop environment, which may be less familiar to Windows or Mac OS, so you will feel a little different. Ubuntu has become increasingly integral part of cloud computing services to make it not just good distribution or easy distribution for beginner Linux, but also for those who are looking to develop long-term business IT skills. So if you go to Amazon or Oracle clouds, you will find lots of Ubuntu images to install in your virtual machines. The second one on the list is Elementary OS. This is by far the most beautiful Linux distribution that came across. It's basically inspired by macOS and used a similar kind of dog. The last version of Elementary OS is known as Hera, which features a new onboarding experience, new ways to install application, applies a major update to the setting as well as improving the core applications, as well as designing the login and the lock screen along with the desktop tweaks. So basically it's for the users who want to migrate from Mac OS to Linux because it gives the similar kind of feel, the lock system, and it's more focused on the graphics of the operating system and the ease of use. Also, Elementary OS come with bundled with a limited range of essential applications. So you need to install a lot of applications as it's not completely customized. So it comes with browser, application center from where you are going to install the applications, and there are certain paid programs also. So it's good for the Mac OS migrant, but you need to download a lot of application and some of them could be the paid ones also. The third one on the list is the Linux Mint. It's an old distribution. It's similar to Ubuntu and it became quite famous when it's launched. Linux Mint is a great default distribution for new Linux users as it comes with a lot of software you need when you are switching from Mac or Windows, such as FreeOffice, which is the name is LibreOffice in Spanish, the flavored productivity suite of Linux users. It also have a better support for media format, like you want to play videos, MP3 music, you you can do it easily on this. So it's basically user friendly distribution of Linux. You can download three main flavors of Mint, which 19, which is the latest version. One is a desktop environment, also a KDE version, which has a different interface, and there is a new version 18.3, which is a time shift. Basically, time shift enable user to restore their computer from last functional snapshots of Windows, and you can directly migrate. So these are the three versions of Linux Mint. I personally recommend Linux Mint for the new migrant of user. The next one is the CentOS. Basically, CentOS is based on Fedora and Linux, which are the server releases, and it's a very stable server system with all the packages available for free on the internet. Basically, most of the web servers if you see around the globes are based on CentOS because it's free and have a very good community support. CentOS is designed for super reliability, and that's why it's a great choice for server. It's not a quite good bet for a day-to-day users or a desktop or a laptop version. But on the good side, you have all the packages combined which are you use in Linux and commercial available are fully compatible for CentOS, and it have a frequent new release as compared to the Linux. Additionally, if you are looking for experience as a system admin, CentOS will be a good distribution to set up and install. You can, if you are a Windows user and you want to learn Linux servers and everything, what you can do, you can install a virtual machine like VirtualBox or VMware and install CentOS and start doing hands-on. That's how I learned the Linux in the start. The last one is Tails. Tails is a live operating system. You can start almost by any computer by a USB stick or DVD. Basically, Tail is a different kind of operating system. It's not normally a daily user operating system. Its aim is to hide your location and identity as much as possible. And even if you heard about Edward Snowden, he said he used this operating system, so it makes it quite popular overnight. The operating system route all the internet traffic through Tor network. Tor network is the network used by the hackers, basically the onion routing, which is stand for Tor. So it's like multiple layers of routing of your traffic, so it's super difficult anyone to find your location identity. It's based on Debian Linux, which is another famous flavor of Linux, and used desktop. So if you see the user interface is quite clear and user friendly. Basically, this operating system is not for everyone because it's for a niche kind of users on a particular niche, like one who are most in security or learning hacking stuff and everything, or doing lots of transactions. So if you want to hide your security things or you want to hide your identity, your location, everything, this operating system is made for you. So I have divided, I'm not discussing too much Linux flavor. There are like hundreds of Linux flavors, so I divided into three different kinds, like which are the normal Linux users, they can go through Ubuntu. Some which are migrating from Windows to Linux, they can use elementary OS or Linux Mint. If someone want to learn server operating systems or want to migrate to servers, they can go to CentOS. And the last not the least, if someone is completely like don't want to install, want to learn from a live disk, but want to connect into internet and want to hide their identity, it could be they can use Tails. So I have divided into 5 different Linux distribution, so you can choose whatever you want. There are lots of Linux distribution are available and all have their goods and bad points. So you can share some of the Linux OS you tested or you feel good and should be in the list in the comments. Please do subscribe as there are lots of videos coming every single day on this channel, and we are going to interact through live sessions as well. Thank you so much.